Welcome, Speed Gaming fans, to this race of the Final Fantasy Randomizer Chaos Winter Carnival, a Game 3 featuring LordFizzlebeef versus Ravioli. My name is Thavian Hawk. Joining me in the booth today is Dangwoo with our Tracker Ale. How is things going for you, Ravioli? What do you see of interest so far with these picks? Sorry, Dangwoo.
No word. It's kind of what we expected while we were talking to the broadcast booth. We thought LordFizzlebeef was going to at least bring a red mage, and obviously the forced black mage. Going with the nope, I know he's talked about it in the Discord, about playing a three-party system. Ravioli, let's go with the white mage. It's definitely the safer option now if white magic happens to be the only daily magic going at the start. Definitely going to be looking good there. But LordFizzlebeef is not a fan of the white mage.
Understandably so, and given the blur sings, I can see why he chose to go with the three-man party of the fighter, red mage, and black mage. The fighter and the black mage are forced, so that was the no-brainer. But the red mage, that comes with legendary swords and an extra level of magic, or point of magic in every level at the cost of negative 10% hit, which, when you're not usually using it for fighting, even with that legendary sword, is a good option.
Well, and one of those important things, so the 1 MP level all, that means that red wizard, or red mage in this case, starts with one cast at every level. So if we pick up a level 3 and 4 or 5 spell, because maybe we have enough cash then and we buy it, we actually have access and can cast that spell right away.
That early cast of something you find in Crescent, if you make that early run around, can make a huge difference. Talking blur stings, if we check the fighter, it comes with a plus 10 luck, which will help with evasion and running. Oh, we're starting already.
Yeah, so you can totally talk about the blur stings here. White magic, there's nothing. White mage is going to feel awful. Lamp is actually okay for endgame. But, so Fire 3, obviously our main AoE's casting spell. The white mage is going to be a little rough. But, so the fighter gets plus 10 luck, hurt dragon. One of the changes they made is we're going to have to fight Bahamut. Okay, well now we have a buff against fighting Bahamut. Cool, that makes it easier. The plus 10 luck, we don't need a thief anymore. Our run chance is just as good or better. The black mage, plus 25 agility, plus 40 vitality. These black mages are going to be tanks, but no ribbon. So AoE instant death kill or spells are going to kill us more quickly. But hey, we can take a punch.
Well, Ravioli going straight in on the fight with Astos as LordFizzlebeef picks up a Thor hammer out of that top Topher box.
So, interesting here. Ravioli takes on the fight against Garland, doesn't save, then goes to check boxes. With our ability to have early tents, if for whatever reason we run into something that kills us, we have to refight everything and lose, 40 seconds.
Now, I gotta point this out with LordFizzlebeef. You saw him heal up before talking to the king and the princess. That was because we have the loose Astos dangerous flag sets, so even they could have been Astos.
Yeah, that's a very good point. That would have been a bad thing there. Well, we're gonna talk to some bats there. Learn some stuff. Ravioli's gonna sigh of relief knowing that we don't have to face Astos. Although we have the spells to take on Astos. Oh well, yeah, with the Thor hammer that was given to us, that at least allows us to kill it.
The Thor hammer came out of Topher Upper. I don't know what our caster item was. It looks like it was a piece of armor, which would probably be the black shirt.
Yep.
Be either the black shirt or I believe the Zeus gauntlet is an option for the lightning magic cast item. Or is it the Thor hammer?
Thorhammer and the Zeus are both lightning lit 2 casts.
Man, we got Vicky over here for LordFizzlebeef, skipping the magic early because he already has a sweeper in that Fire 3.
Alright, so we got Oxiel, and what was the other option there?
The Oxio on the ship.
Right, so we don't have the canal, that gives us our outer sea access. There's the crown. So now we have choices. I'm assuming we're going to do crown turn into marsh. So I could see our runners doing crown into Crescent Lake, since we haven't found an exit spell yet.
It really does determine, or is determined based on personal preference of the racers, as well as what we get out of that crown if we go for the crown.
And what magic we have. Harm 3, white, I think that was life 2, so Knight looking really good for Fizzle with Nuke at level 2 black magic, so...
Yep, that was slot 4 life 2.
It doesn't, yeah. The 2/2 magic's available to everybody. So, yeah, the red wizard looking really strong. The white mage can cast some things, but losing its importance.
And that's the crown for Ravioli. As LordFizzlebeef makes his way out, we'll have 2 options. He can go to that South River Dock, he can go to Elfin, or he can go to Crown. That's 3, but still. Looks like he's going towards Astos, Northwest Casto, to turn in the crown.
And it might not even be Astos, which makes it even better, and I don't think it is. Yeah, because we got the music, so we don't have to fight Astos, which means any one of our turn-ins now could be not really terrifying, because we have a decent equipment.
Yeah, Ravioli finding that life 2 and picking up, it looks like wall for some defensive magic.
I mean, it definitely gives this white wizard something to cast. I mean, the red mage should be getting nuke, wall, life 2.
Len the cat, there is only one Astos, and it is any of the incentive turn-in NPCs. So it could be the robot and waterfall, we might not even see it.
It could be the fairy, the little Vanish turn-in. So, LordFizzlebeef does the play, goes to Crescent Lake. Interesting. I mean, was at Marsh. Marsh is okay early levels, technically. It's better with only 2 characters.
Nothing special there in white magic, except for in Fizz 2, I should actually note that, and then Warp in black.
Not red mage learnable. None of the slots there are red mage learnable, which is a little unfortunate. So we don't even get 1 cast of it, which would have made, like a cheeky ice dive. You could have gone down and checked the instead of location and warped with the red mage.
We've got that divergence, the herb for the sages for LordFizzlebeef, as Ravioli opts to go to Marsh after getting that crown transferred over.
I mean, it makes sense. You get early level nukes. It should be relatively easy to go in and out. You just cast nukes on any large packs of monsters. You gain some early levels, allow you to get cast level 3 and 4 magic, and you get rewarded with lots of cash.
Man, it looks like LordFizzlebeef is going straight over to Elfland, check the magic, turn in that herb. He doesn't really want to go to Ice Cave or Volcano at this point. He wants to get all these turn-ins sooner than later. One nice thing about getting this chain of incentive items dealt with early is each incentive item they have is more experience for their grind. That's the rod, getting a crowbar out of the Elf Prince.
Yep. So now it's just elimination, or we've eliminated a lot of options, and now we have a 50-50 shot of where we gotta go.
Level 3 fast. That is very valuable.
Looks like Earth's gonna be the play. Maybe. Fate is white wizard or white mage only. And
we've
Life was learnable too. Sorry to interrupt you there. So life was learnable at slots in tier 2 and tier 3. That is learnable by the knight. So the knight is going to be loaded for endgame.
This is very good for that 3-man party LordFizzlebeef is running, because if his lower party count can still sustain having a party member lost, it can be faster. He gets more experience on each of those individual party members, not having that fourth character to share, and he has fewer actions to take in battle. You know how that goes, running a 2-man last night.
It definitely helps, and this seed has been very kind. I mean, you got Nuke, Fast, Temper, all on separate charges. The Fast is with your life cast, which is even better because you're not using them. Like, you don't need to cast the Fast spell as often. And
Looks like Fizzle is going towards Marsh, which we know is a requirement because the loot is sitting at the bottom.
No, there's... Oh, was it loot? Okay, I'm glad you
Yep,
showed.
it was the loot.
I thought it was the chime, but I guess that was from LordFizzlebeef. Okay, so yeah. Loot required, but doesn't get us out of the inner sea, so we get to go to Ice Cave! Hooray! I wonder if anybody will do a volcano play. We've got Nuke, we've got Fade, we've got plenty of life magic.
I could totally see them doing Volcano, at least Armory, although I know for a fact Fizzlebeef is the kind of guy who will go, I'm going there to finish it before going to Ice, because it's on the route for that southern river dock, and they've got magic, they've got the equipment so far to do it.
I mean, with the spells we got, I could totally see them just doing it to get it done with. Because they shouldn't have much of a problem. They have plenty of good armor, so carries shouldn't hit the knight very hard, technically.
Yeah, looks like those houses rolled reasonable, not super low, but with the amount of money they've been getting so far, 2,000 gold houses are nothing too bad.
And our tracker Ale does bring up a good point. Fizzle avoids Volcano like the plague, especially early. Though, I have seen him do it, but generally he doesn't like to do it. And it's not incentive, and wow,
Blaze! That the Lord Fizzlebeef is not happy. He knows where the loot is. He just got wiped out by those, was it the Gerwolves that had Blaze, or was it the werewolves?
I think it was Gerwolves, but I could be wrong. Oh,
Either way,
okay.
he is leaving without that loot and is gonna just move on.
Okay, so if it's werewolves, that means Earth is dangerous because werewolves can show up in Earth Cave. I'm trying to think of where else they show up, but it at least makes an early Earth play very dangerous where we can run into them.
Now this is interesting. Lord Fizzlebeef is going north, which means he is more than likely going Ice Cave and avoiding as much of the river system as he can to get there.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely makes sense for him.
As he does that, Ravioli has made his way to Crescent.
And this too is learnable by the Red Wizard. Tier 6.
Now we still haven't seen the shop item, so it's definitely outside the inner sea. Plenty of places it could be. It's always nice to find it sooner, because especially if you find it in Corneria, it can be a little cheaper, and it's early experience to grab it, no matter what it is. Those are some tanky gators, surviving 200 plus damage off of a mid-roll nuke.
Alright, so, I mean, this is the dangers of the Ice Cave, or as we like to say, the Nice Cave. If it ever rolls nice. There's just lots of enemies. I mean, as you saw it in Marsh Cave has got lots of enemies. One of them had Blaze. And what we're hoping here for is one of these enemies here in Ice Cave to not be cast happy.
Well, Lord Fizzlebeef liquidated that Thor hammer to have enough money to pick up Warp, so he should be able to use the cheeky Warp trip at least to check the primary boxes here.
I mean, if he gets his Black Mage caster up to level 16, he can cast it.
Frost Giants with Blizzard. How thematic. Or at least appropriate.
Oh no, they took out our life caster. It's like they were trained by Kraken.
And coming right back to that Jotunheim pack again. This time at least getting the nuke off. Checking that right side spike tile, finding some cobras that have self-repair of the worst variety, even a 6-pack running it.
Oh, Ravioli was thinking about it. Decides to not. Maybe go to Volcano, but we get a defense sword.
Rolling up as well. +2 defense sword is a viable endgame weapon if they don't find anything better. And that is the eye tile on that 2-pack in lower ice. That is excellent to find.
Once again, Fizzle finds the eye tile.
And a ribbon.
And has a dagger equipped. Oh no!
If he finds the Excalibur in the 6-pack beneath this, it is gonna be hilarious. Well, he wouldn't be able to. If he finds something excellent in comparison, it looks like he's going straight for that grind. He wants to get as much on this warrior as he can, and just beef his way out.
I mean, I'm kind of surprised he's not checking the 6-pack, just in case there's a better weapon there. Oh no, wait, we have a black shirt. We can use that. That's not bad. Unless he sold the black shirt.
I don't believe so. I know he sold the Thor hammer.
I mean, the black shirt's going to do way more than what that weapon is, I think. Oh, it's over 153. That's not bad.
Somehow the Jotunheim pack showed up on a spike tile in Volcano. And looks like Ravioli is taking... Oh, he's at least taking the Frost Giants, and he hasn't seen their very painful magic.
Alright, so the only thing I'm surprised about here by LordFizzlebeef's grind is we didn't get the incentive item first. And it feels weird just because it's 10% extra experience. And we don't have to make a second trip through Ice Cave.
Very true, and I'm just remembering his Black Mage likely didn't have the levels necessary to cast that warp, so that wasn't really even an option.
Oh no, he could. The Black Mage needed to be level 16 to be able to cast warp.
Ravioli getting out with the experience he got from fighting those Jotunheim packs, shockingly even surviving that. He never saw the blizzard.
So, I mean, this is definitely going to be a big... I mean, this is what happened in Game 2. It's going to be very interesting for Game 3 here. With the early find for LordFizzlebeef, Ravioli's kind of spinning his tires here in Volcano, which is going to cost him dearly, because the fighter has +10 luck. I mean, we really don't need to take many fights because our run chance is going to be so high.
And once he gets beefy enough, he might not even have to run. There is the break function where if a enemy sees a high-level enemy or high-level light warrior, they will just run. And Ravioli finding a wizard pack here, nothing special. Although that opal +4 shield could be valuable if they get that tail. And Ravioli's going back to grind the Jotunheim pack. Here's hoping he does not see that blizzard, because with his current life, his entire party would go down.
Probably using the last of the spell cast, gain the last couple levels, so he can go into Ice Cave if he uses a house. But definitely feeling very uncomfortable. I would say that's a very uncomfortable runner right now. Not feeling confident about diving Ice Cave with nuke with your tier 2 magic.
Yep, and it looks like the Frost Wolves have Poison Touch just for for added fun.
I mean, it's brought up. I mean, with this early grind, the knight, when it's promoted, learns really good magic. We have 2 tiers of the life casts, which is really good. Now,
He's pushing way past that initial level gain for that. That is really true, because if he had brought it to 15, got promoted, you can get those casts earlier, but every level he goes up, it's harder to get those next levels and get those casts.
I mean, it's not terrible. It's just, he's going to have to plan a strategy on what he's going to do. So, I mean, yeah, as Ale has pointed out, he's got to make it out of this place. So how high do you go? We do have a ribbon equipped. We do have decent armor. But now we're sacrificing our end game backup plans because we don't have anything now. Like, we're not... It all depends on how many fights we're going to take later on. Because we're going to have this high-level knight that's already set to go into Topher without any spell charges. How many fights are we going to take?
And of course, with his other 2 casters currently down, he's going to have to get some running fights at least to get them up to get the levels and the life to survive Topher.
I sure hope he bought heal potions. Okay, we did. I couldn't remember if he actually bought heal potions or not. I know sometimes we're in such a hurry we forget to buy heal potions. I'm like, this dive's going to get even more terrifying.
Yeah, well, grinding up on that eye, Ravioli is over there checking the Agama floor, top left chest, finding that wizard pack again, getting in gold -3 bracelet. Nothing super great with that roll down, but still better than what he had. And a mage stick and an ice armor. Okay, that is a substantial upgrade, that ice armor. Even rolling neutral, it's better than that chain +4 that he was not running, which could go on that red mage if he doesn't already have it there.
I mean, we've got to go... I mean, you're going to have to go mid-30s, I would say. That just... I mean, as long as, like, an endgame weapon we find doesn't roll completely negative, then at least gets us close to 6 hits on most of them.
At this point, the nearest to an endgame weapon that he's found is that Defense Sword +2, and if he wants to base his levels off breakpoints for that, I mean...
You need 38 for 6 hits with the Defense Sword?
There's still so much information that we do not have about this seed. We haven't even made it out of the inner sea.
I know, we're 21 minutes in and we're talking about endgame, and yet we haven't gotten out. But I mean, LordFizzlebeef should get out. He's got good armor. He's got it. He's got the ribbon. I mean, as long as we don't find, I don't even want to cast a curse. I'm not gonna say it. As long as we don't, can't say it. I can't say it. I'm not doing it to Fizzle. That would break him. I'm not doing it.
Jesus, it's 706 XP or hit points, and he is finally making the breakaway. As Ravioli is checking the dragon chest and getting an ice +2 shield for his troubles.
No, you don't have to worry about. Well, you do have to worry about Death Touch. It is still Death Elemental. Death Touch is Death Elemental with these flags because it's been randomized. The problem is it's big packs and they roll the 1 nuke that's out there.
And here's the question, do we get the canal or do we get the vanilla floater?
Okay, these nightmares are terrifying, by the way. 4 hits, and if they would have rolled a touch attack, that would have been rough.
Well, that is the canal out of ice. That is a requirement at this point because we did not get the floater, and that gets us out of the inner sea.
Alright. Carry 1 about to be taken on as LordFizzlebeef has finished the grind, got the canal, making his way out. Poison touch, but we're going all offensive here. We're not even going to bother swinging nukes and fades. We're relying on our casters. Big nuke crit for 320.
I do not disagree with this move. He's got the spells. The spells are going to do way more damage than what his melee can do at the moment. And there goes the Snake Lady.
Yeah, a little little bit of a slow volcano. I say that because it took a while, but we had to check a lot of boxes because, well, it's early game and we need a lot of gear. Ravioli was able to get a lot of good gear.
And in comparison, I don't even think Fizzlebeef checked the 6-pack. I think he just went right through.
No, he didn't check anything. He said, no. I'm running, I'm scared, I don't want to die. 2
boxes, 20 plus levels, I'm out of here.
So Fizzle gets out with that level 34 a night. 3 more levels, gets 6 hits on the defense sword, which is really nice for endgame.
And right there you saw that break point where the ogres didn't even want to bother with him.
I mean, it only really helps in Earth Cave, being this high. Generally, that's really where it only helps, is being that high, is against Earth Cave enemies. Nobody else is going to run in sea. Nobody's really going to run in if we go to the floating castle. But it definitely makes Earth a lot easier.
There is a small side effect there. If he did want to try and running grind and they run away from him, his other characters aren't going to be able to get that experience.
I mean, he can solve that, though. He just puts the nun slot in the top slot, and the enemies won't run.
I forgot that is a cheeky little trick you can run, isn't it?
I mean, you could put your mage in there, too. Basically, the enemy's morale is rolled against whoever is top slot. So we'll see what Ravioli ends up doing here with a 1-orb lead.
He is checking that smite tile, gonna get that defense sword.
Yeah, with the better trap treasure, it's a smart move.
Now, what's the play for Fizzle? Is he go down, check Cardia, or is he? It looks like he's going to Ordeals. That makes total sense at this point. As he does that, Ravioli finds that eye tile, and we'll get the ribbon at the same time. Now, do you think Ravioli is going to choose to make this a grind right now, or is he going to just maybe take it a few times for his party and go?
So Ravioli's going to take out 3 characters. It's going to take a little bit. So this is good. Actually, the Ordeals play is really good. It does a lot of things. That's why I like Ordeals and I like Waterfall. Because you can just take fights as you go. It's short enough where you don't run out of spell casts. And in this case, LordFizzlebeef can get his casters leveled up and in a good position.
It's also better to take it now when you're still on the boat rather than have to wait until you've given up the boat for the airship. Because it's a faster dock at that river than trying to land over in the field off to the side and run all the way through the forest and whatnot. Cheeky trick, going for Pillar 2, just avoiding Pillar 1 altogether, and Pillar 3 takes him right to the staircase. As Ravioli finds the Jotunheim Blizzard cast on his first appearance of it in Ice Form instead of in Volcano when he grinded, and that's the floater for LordFizzlebeef out of Ordeals. Not strictly necessary as far as we know just yet, if the key is not in Gaia or Lefane, but definitely an upgrade in mobility from this point onwards.
Well, just to make the night even more overpowered, we got a power block in that 6 chest.
LordFizzlebeef may kick himself for that miss in the late game, but much rather find that than not. So that's a ruse item in the form of the defense sword and the power bonk coming out of Ice Cave.
Yeah, that's an endgame just being tossed at you, saying, "Here, enjoy the end game because you shouldn't die."
Fizzle going to Sarda once he's got the skyboat. That way he can get the incentive item off the old man without having to wait for the ruby. And we have Astos in the cave.
5 hits for 155, a little dagger. Love it.
And Astos pulling the Boom 6, and the Excalibur was in the 3-pack before the drop down. Lord Fizzlebeef's fading chest coming to hurt him potentially. He did this exact same thing yesterday in his race 2 with Ravioli, where he went all the way to Bahamut, grabbed the incentive item, and faded everything in Bahamut's treasure trove. And there was extremely good gear, including, I believe, Dragon +3 armor and the black shirt sitting there for him to use, and he just missed it all.
I mean, it's not terrible. He has the defense sword. It's not that bad of a miss. The power bonk probably is the biggest thing, just in case our casters go down. We don't have an ability to like temper anybody. The X-Cal obviously very good, since elemental bonus gives us 30 extra damage per swing or per hit.
But it does fall off when you hit to Chaos because he has no elemental vulnerabilities, and that was a -2 on the X-Cal, so it wasn't excellent as far as its blessings. Take it or leave it, I'd probably have taken it though.
I mean, I know everybody says, you know, because X-Cal doesn't do well against Chaos, but I know Fast and Tempers any sword can work.
Very true, but on that note, the defense sword +2, you'd probably have it in your fighter's hands anyways as a utility item, so you might as well swing it.
Although the Vorpal's incentive anyway, so we could probably get a Vorpal and go.
Well, Ravioli going straight to Melmond once he got out of the Inner Sea and is doing that check into Earth. He's probably actually just going to go ahead and get his second orb at this point. Go straight down and fight himself a speed bump. If you can call it a fight.
I mean, he's not checking in chest. He's done. He's got a defense sword with early level fast and temper. I'll be surprised if he checks anymore.
Well, speed bump has some thunder. That's some impressive magic for him.
Danny, the defense roll +2.
Man, that is a speed bump down for Lord Fizzlebeef. Nuke doing more to the speed bump than Thunder did to Fizzlebeef's party. And Lord Fizzlebeef checking out the Ray Dwarf, just taunting him as he goes for that TNT turn-in.
I mean, so Lord Fizzlebeef picked up the Black Mage from the recruitable from Lich, so now he's got 2 Black Mages and a Red Mage. Which kind of
really going for those Nuke casters and wants more chances to get Temper because he still doesn't have the Power Bonk.
Yeah.
As we get the bottle out of the Lazy Dwarfs, TNT to Narek. Narek gives us the Adamant, takes it up to the Blacksmith.
Now, I mean, so the key here, right, Lord Fizzlebeef is definitely in the lead. Just from the way he's situated and stuff like that, I'll say Lord Fizzlebeef is in a better spot right now. Ravioli can definitely catch up. But it's really dependent on how many chests he checks and how comfortable he is. If he decides to check a lot of chests at this point, as we're getting crushed by Cockatrices here, because we didn't have high level to break morale.
Those dirty birds doing Ravioli's party dirty with that ice cast. As Lord Fizzlebeef with the bottle is going up to Gaia, going to check the armory, see if he can get those pro rings or maybe gold rings rolled up, but they rolled very down. Pro rings are neutral, but -3 on those gold rings.
We're checking still. Ravioli. Oh no. You gotta go in go mode at this point. It's game 3, you're up against Lord Fizzlebeef. You gotta understand who you're up against. It's too many checks.
The Black Mages that Lord Fizzlebeef now has 2 of cannot have ribbons, but they can definitely have pro rings, which makes a huge difference. And that's a check in the item store in Gaia, nothing there, so we've got on-rack, or we have the caravan in the desert. For that incentive item, and a crystal, another fetch chain for that fairy turn-in. And on rack it is, so he's gonna probably, I'd say, hit up the waterfall, see if he can get that key. We already know the loot is in Marsh, although he wiped out to some wolves before. He can go back and get that pretty quick, and we've got the incentive item that he knows is in the store and on rack he can pick up as he's going down there to whack himself a kraken. Now, do you think Ravioli might switch out a character for that extra black mage, or is he going to stick with his rainbow party?
If I were him, I'd get rid of the white mage.
Well, evidently, he's going with what he's got.
I mean, that's a high-level free black mage we're getting. We get more nukes, get more fast and tempers. We got an X-Kill, we got a defense sword. Why not? We got plenty of life cast with the red mage and the knight.
So depending on what we see out of this waterfall and in the shop in on rack, LordFizzlebeef's next stop, whether he gets the tail or not, is likely gonna be Cardia, because if he doesn't see the tail in these two checks, it could be just lazy Bahamut with the tail behind him. And of course, they have to fight Bahamut here, so when they promote, it's gonna be a little battle. They can't even get into the chest. I forgot he has his flankers they have to fight if they want to raid his chests ahead of time.
I mean, that's actually a really decent experience.
Gas dragons are one of the best pack grinds as well, if you can find them in Topher for a Topher grind.
This is such an interesting follow.
And LordFizzlebeef getting the payout. He is getting the tail before he goes to Cardia. He will be able to get that promotion, swing that defense sword, and things definitely looking like Fizzlebeef's route is going to do him well. This means we're probably getting the slab or the ruby out of the store here. Nope, it's the key, lead, and that is our final go mode item for him as well. He knows he just has to stop by Marsh to get that loot, pop himself a lich while he's down in Earth Cave, or if when he finds the cube we know now is behind Bahamut, if he checks it, which he probably will, he might just go sky instead of Earth, depending on how he's feeling.
Two orbs to one, but ravioli though, I mean, LordFizzlebeef is in complete, go mode here. We don't have an endgame weapon, so we did pick up the tail, right? So yeah, so he'll promote, he'll do Volcano after this, get it done with, do Marsh, and we'll be diving.
I would doubt LordFizzlebeef's even going to check Sharknado, even though it's on the way here.
I mean, he hasn't checked any chests the entire way, right? He only checked the waterfall just because it was there.
2 chests in total out of ice, which missed him some pretty sweet equipment, but he was really just in I have power, I go mode the moment he leveled that knight up.
Demon Bring are joining us in chat there, saying the X-Cal is worth it just because it helps you get through the Refiend fights. Oh, I agree completely. It's definitely there, especially for LordFizzlebeef. We've got 5 hits. A 5-hit Excalibur does so much work. We're actually close to 6 hits, but we're never going to gain that much experience to get it.
Man, he is never going to be able to do it because he is never going back to Ice Cave. So,
yeah. The defense will do just fine. Plus, we'll hit 6 hits. Actually, very close once we enter Temple of Fiends Revisited, anyways.
He could go back to do that Canaria lock check with that key, and pick himself up a Vorpal if that's what's hiding in the chest there. So that's still an option. As far as Ravioli, he is in the air. He looks like going to Sardo, just like LordFizzlebeef did from the get-go. He's going to fight himself an Astos and get himself some boomsticks. That is one absorbent Kraken. but I very much cooked Kraken.
Question in chat is Incentive Ribbon in play? Yes, it is, along with the Vorpal.
We have not seen the ruby, the slab, the vorpal, or the ribbon. We know that the cube, we know where the cube is on Ravioli's side, and both of them know the loop being in Marsh.
The mythical battle between beef and ravioli rages on. Absolutely a Dimension Harvester.
The Chef Boyardee race. Who's in the can? How much of what is in which?
This dagger's gonna do so much damage because of the hurt dragon buff.
Well, the nuke's doing most of the work there.
Level 36 knight, one more, we get 6 hits on that defense sword.
And that is the cube, so he's got the option to go sky and volcano, earth and volcano, sky and earth. It is all so much. I'm assuming he's gonna go marsh, get the loot, and probably just bounce over to earth. He's not gonna bother searching for any other items. He already did. That's why he decided to just leave the loot and come back later. As Ravioli hits up the ferry for the crystal and bounces out, probably just gonna go immediately down and turn that in. Could have proximity played Sky and tried to get that fiend out of the way to go for all 3 of his orbs, but he wants to get that turn in, see if he can get some better gear. Maybe find that tail, which he has not been to Waterfall, so he does not have, and he truly wants. There is the Vorpal, -1 for the crystal turn-in.
I mean, a -1, it's fine. It's definitely something that will be decent against Chaos when we're actually casting fast and tempers.
It is the crit stick. For lack of a ninja with katana, that is one of the most crit-capable weapons in the game.
So, Fizzle officially enters go mode, just has to take out Carry, which he'll probably go do here shortly.
I kept forgetting that he had already done Earth, so yeah, Volcano is his most logical next play. After he picks up some more low-level magic for this Black Mage he picked up.
Yep, and also need to pick up the life spell for the Knight.
So which creature had that stone there in the river for Ravioli? Was that the Caribs, or was that the other fish?
To be honest, I don't know. I mean, it's an enemy you really shouldn't have to fight much anyways. Because you can just get around with saving.
It looks like Ravioli is skipping out on the ice or on the waterfall play and going straight down to Kraken.
Fizzle.
Did pick up his key.
Pick up your life casts. What are you doing? You're level 36. You gain at 1 level and you have at least 2 life casts.
He is, without a doubt, in speed and power mode. If it doesn't give him more speed and more power, he's just going to ignore it until he has to. And if he doesn't bounce out of Topher, he's going to ignore it.
I mean, I get it. I don't know. I mean, you're going to want... You just need 1 level. You can gain that in Topher and gain a life 1 and a life 2 cast for free. Well, so Demon, Life 1 was available at White Magic Tier 3. Life 2 is available at Tier 2. That's why I was wondering why he didn't get it. He was right there to get when he was buying the cast for the Black Magic. He stopped for Black Magic spells, but he didn't get it for his Knight.
That is the Snake Lady down on LordFizzlebeef's side. He's gonna say, bye-bye, I don't need you, White Mage, and go straight to Topher. Maybe pick up some potions if he needs to restock, but looks like he does not. He's gonna get that Vorpal, though. He still has that crystal to turn in.
He's level 36. He gains 1 level, see? That's an odd level. He gains 2 charges of life, just in case things go badly here. And it's Toph, so he can do it very easily.
Well, ignoring that, that's a 4303 turn into Topher for LordFizzlebeef. He is on absurd pace. Will it work out for him? Because only 2 of his characters are above 400 health, and that red mage is only barely there. Oh, actually, his lower black mage, I should say. They also don't have ribbons on those black mages. We know at least one of the fiends is Nuki. As Fizzle makes his way to Speed Bump 2, running away from some slimes, Ravioli is cooking himself some sea creatures. Kylio, I agree, it definitely seems like a risky dive, but it's also 100% a Fizzle play. This is definitive speed and power, go, go, go. And that is 3 orbs on Ravioli's side. He may be behind, but he's getting on his way to Topher right now. He didn't get the tail out of Waterfall, so he does not have access to that Warpole or swinging that defense sword. This is an interesting situation.
What? I mean, this is definitely Game 3 decisions, which I totally understand, because I'm just a spectator watching it, and I know I'm bringing out things, and I'm like, well, why didn't you just do this? Like, it takes, what, 10 seconds to gain a life charge. Gives you at least an ability to save your dive, which could be even more disastrous.
Now, Ravioli skipped Waterfall, but did go ahead and do the key check in Corneria, which Fizzle did not. That gets him the Ruby, which takes him to Titans, and see if he can get something out of there. But at this point, I'm fairly certain this has to be the slab, which takes us to Lefane for the Ruby. Because we know the tail is in Waterfall.
Plus 40 HP, Black Mage taking a shot by Carrie. Thank you for having so much HP.
Is Carrie running Kraken's script, but went for the wrong mage?
It might have been.
Yeah, sorry, I said Ruby out of the thing. I meant ribbon, because I still haven't got the incentive ribbon. If Ravioli chases this slab down, it's just going to take him that much longer to get into Topher. I doubt he's going to bother.
Oh, he's going to. I mean, if you've already bypassed Waterfall with an exit charge, yeah, he's going to chase this down, which is going to feel bad. I mean, you were right there. I mean, like I said, I think this is Game 3 nerves, where you just kind of bypassed it with a free exit charge right there, see?
Yeah.
Which happens. I mean, it happens with all runners. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, and I pointed out that, I mean, it just happens. It's fine.
Nuki Kraken. This is always the worry when you kill Kraken 1 with Nuke. Oh, he remembered Waterfall. He's gonna get his tail out of this.
We can't lose that. We can't lose that red mage.
I worry with killing Kraken 1 with Nuke. Oops, they all survived the Bane.
No way!
None of those black mages have ribbons on them. The fact that they survived is insane to me.
Okay. Maybe this seed is blessed by not picking up life charge. Okay. Wow.
Well, that's one of the major walls, but we still have Tia 2, and Tia 2 is just as dangerous 99.9% of the time as Kraken. May not always be punchy, but I mean, you've got a very angry dragon lady.
Alright, so we're casting Temper, some fast, more Temper. We're going to use that defense sword to try and punch through this. Unfortunately, we get kind of bad turn order there. The knight decides to jump the gun, misses all the buffs.
all the buffs, 2 tempers and a fast out immediately after the swing. And that's a Bane. That is the bounce.
That's
This is
a
like
Bane through
nukes.
ribbon.
This is nuke to the victory or nothing.
If we had better turn order, we might have had a chance. It's not over. Gotta hope for very good or very terrible spells by Tiamat here. We've done some damage. We're definitely at the vanilla HP just about.
And that is the bounce for LordFizzlebeef. Is he going to go right back in? It sure looks like it. Second dive, 48-25, as Ravioli gets out of Waterfall, gets the tail, and is most definitely on Cardia and Topher. Nothing else.
I think the Red Mage had Ribbon, which you might have to move that knight out of the top slot. I know sometimes the slots have better or worse luck rolls, which is weird to say. But if
I know that the slot location dictates the probability of attack, where I believe 50% of attacks are on the top slot or thereabouts.
Well, no, what I mean is there's actual slots have like a higher chance of rolling like a critical fail, where they lose that roll against a Bane or a Death Touch.
Interesting. I was unaware of that.
Yeah, it's seed by seed type of thing where like you can sometimes notice you'll get Bane or Death Touch through something and it happens a couple times in a run. One of the people talked to is Caleb. He's really felt it. Yeah, sometimes slots are just cursed.
Well, as Fizzlebeef makes his way back to Speed Bump 2, Ravioli is promoted, dealing with that Bahamut. Gonna get that Vorpal and or the Excalibur equipped, whichever he chooses to run at the moment. And I have no doubt he will remember the life charges. And looks like, based on how those last 2 Fiend fights went, they seem needed.
Lich starting out with Nuclear instantly. So we know 2 Nuclears are out of the pool.
Is this even randomized? That's vanilla script actions there.
No. That Lich usually has Nuke, which is worse. Nuclear is okay. I mean, it still hurts, but it's not Nuke where it hits for 400. That only goes up to 320.
I'll be honest, until I started running the randomizer, I didn't even know there was a difference between the Nuclears as skills and Nuke as spellcast slots.
Oh yeah, there's definitely differences. Because all 4 Nuclears come from a Warmex pool, and then the nukes come from Lich and Chaos.
And Ravioli joining Topher at a 50-50 or 45, I believe, and he put the defense 2 sword on that knight. He did not put the Excalibur or the Vorpal -1 on there.
Carry 2-shotting our knight is very terrifying. That's a high-level knight that got 2-shot by Carry.
A high-level knight that honestly doesn't have that high level of armor. All that chest skipping definitely gave Ravioli an armor or an equipment advantage.
Oh no.
Whether it will affect his level differences or not.
So Ravioli doesn't have life charges either. Once again, level 20, 1 charge away from getting a life cast. All he has to do is take a couple fights, gain 21, which is an odd level, and you gain some life charges. Now, obviously, for LordFizzlebeef, though, I mean, his knight is just dying. There's nothing he can do about it. And this is not resisting the Bane this time. And Kraken's about to 2-shot. There it is.
Topher is the ultimate balancing. It will equalize any race, and this sure looks like a Topher to balance any weight.
Fizzle, check the Topher chests. They're better trap treasure. I say that with love. Like, you've died twice. There could be a ruse item there. Or a power bonk in his case. He doesn't know it's not there.
I mean, neither of them saw the ruse stick, so it is totally possible the ruse stick's just sitting there.
Well, I mean, I mean, the ruse stick isn't what's killing LordFizzlebeef. Obviously, it did there because he didn't ruse up against Kraken, but like he doesn't know about the power bonk, so I'm surprised he doesn't check the Temple of Fiends or the Temple of Fiends locked rooms, just in case a power bonk or power bonk or white shirt. I don't know. White shirt doesn't matter or anything. We need something to keep our knight alive so we can kill a fiend.
It's the battle between the big weapon and the fragile support versus the moderately leveled team that has more equipment and better balance.
These slimes! Oh my god, this is so dumb!
A 9-pack, they're rocking Ice 2.
And Dazzle.
This is just cruel. What is this Topher?
Oh, and it stoned them!
They're usually so nice to grind, but not today.
Oh my gosh.
Ravioli getting bounced out trying to get a grind on his way to the beans before he could even get to the fiends. Or was he even trying to grind that, or was he just trying to run?
He was just trying to run. He got bad turn order. Lots of dazzles come out. I'm not sure where the ribbon is on Ravioli's side. And yeah, so one thing that's brought up by Len the Cat, the white mage does have wall. If it ends up having the ribbon, can help save both the knight and the white mage from the back-to-back banes. But we have to get better turn order. Carries 2-shotting a knight here if it gets a crit. Oof. Fire 3 is definitely not something we want there. Thankfully, we get better turn order. So Fizzle able to punch through a very strong carry. We know Kraken can hit for like 600 damage.
The fact that Fizzle isn't at least doing some healing before running all the way through, either he knew about this hero run on his way to Kraken, or he just doesn't care and just wants to go.
I mean, he's gone through 2 dives. I'm assumingly he's definitely memorized it. So the ribbon's going on the knight.
I'm very shocked he's not putting a black mage up as a blade of meat shield and hiding that knight further back.
Fizzle makes the change. Wall, hoping to get turn order. Bane comes out first, takes out the walling red mage.
Bye-bye, Lifecaster.
Oh, man. He had the right play. Bad battle RNG. Knight is getting pummeled.
500 plus damage. Kraken is doing all the Kraken things, whether it's... Yep, there's another 500. There's another flop.
I mean, I feel like it's so hard because I feel like... I mean, obviously we needed the better battle RNG there, but I think casting the defense sword first instead of going speed and power there might be a little bit better, just so the knight's not getting trucked. Because even if we survive Bane, if our knight's getting 2-shot, we're relying upon nukes to battle our way through once again, and it looks like Kraken rolled at least over 1,000 damage.
As much as I would lament the 2 black mages not being able to roll ribbons, they didn't get many ribbons. They didn't even get the incentive ribbon. They just got the one that came out of that 2-pack near the eye tile in ice. So they don't have much to guard against this Bane.
What is this? What is this ravioli here? Okay, so LordFizzlebeef finally gonna get hit by the ice 2s here, by the slimes. Ravioli gets stopped by Gersharks and Wisayags with Trance. Whoever it was that was in chat that said this is an easy Topher, get out.
You need some substantial italics or asterisks on that easy Topher there.
Alright, so we're casting wall with our white... Oh, he's going to cast wall on the knight. So the white mage has the ribbon for Ravioli. Do we get turn order? No, Nuclear comes out. So it's got Bane and Nuclear as the first spell and ability. Oh boy. Nuclear obviously something we'd rather see at this point. But Bane comes out right away. Does it kill the knight? No, the knight resists it.
That is huge for Ravioli. You've got the repositioning, you've got the defenses. They're both swinging the same kind of sword. It's just the difference in levels versus the ability to buff.
Oh, the knight did get the wall? Okay, I wasn't sure if they got the turn order. So yeah. Okay, so we did get the turn order. But that gets punched.
Wall does nothing against the mighty swing of the 8 legs of Kraken.
Alright, so we know Kraken's got over 301 HP. So Fade comes out. 248, that's a big crit. Oh no.
695. Unless this is some special rules on this white mage.
Arm 3, maybe? We're above the quad. Oh, it did it!
That is stupid clutch. And he has 3 life 2 casts. He can balance it out. You get that red mage up.
LordFizzlebeef able to kill carry. Going on to Kraken here. There's the Team Edward fan club.
The extra sparkly pack.
Okay, so we're gonna actually put the ribbon on the knight. Probably cast wall maybe on our white mage here. We know Bane is gonna be here, but the difference is Ravioli can solo knight technically here, folks. He's got the power bonk, has the defense sword. Obviously, LordFizzlebeef has a defense sword also, but the power bonk, kind of a difference here. Wall comes out on the white mage. We know Bane's gonna come out early.
Kraken popping nuclear on LordFizzlebeef, but he did get the buffs out from his casters on that night if he can survive.
Ooh, big nuke roll for LordFizzlebeef there. That's how you deal with Wall. That's right, you just punch him down. Tia showed him.
Yeah, lock coming out of that black mage for Ravioli, trying to guarantee hits with that defense sword from his fighter. As Fizzle pops his way through a Kraken, getting his way to Tiamat again. Neither of our runners have gotten past Tiamat, and this is Ravioli's first time getting there, and there he goes. Tiamat is down.
So definitely the play was, if Kraken 2 casts nuclear, it gives you a chance, to be able to cast wall, get yourselves situated. That's all we needed. If LordFizzlebeef had gotten that RNG or whatever like that instead of casting Bane all the time, probably would have looked a lot better.
Now here's the question: what sword does Ravioli put on that night? It looks like he's sticking with the defense 2 for this. He's not going with the Vorpal for that extra crit potentially, but I believe the defense 2 with its higher damage output, even if it has less crit, is the better choice.
I mean, they're both at 5. They're both at, should be around the same hits. I don't know, it's a tough call. The Vorpal probably would be the better with its ability to crit, but...
Well, there's plenty of tempers fast and some more lock coming out, trying to set up those kills. So far, Chaos has not done pretty much anything. Nearly one-shotting the Black Mage, but that's still not much anything, all things considered.
But we're out of tempers. But we're going to start swinging. It's actually good that our caster, or one of our enemies, or our allies went down instantly. Gives us quicker turn order. Defense or 8 hits for almost 600.
Totally acceptable damage, all things considered. This is 9 hits for 600 plus.
Thank you,
Quad
Chaos.
X popping the red mage.
No, attack! What are you doing? You've been doing 800 damage a swing!
And that is GG. What a Topher run. Ravioli getting it done.
Ravioli winning it after diving a couple times. Died a couple to the random encounters.
Had to force the reset. LordFizzlebeef finishes right behind Ravioli.
Finally. Racetime.gg of 1 hour, 1 minute 57 for Ravioli, and Fizzlebeef only behind by 20 seconds at 1 hour, 2 minutes 17 another extremely close race, as you are very familiar with.
Oh, I can't breathe. That was wow. That was what a race. I mean, you got to feel bad, obviously, or feel not bad, but a little sad how Lord Fizzlebeef's RNG there just was not able to let him through.
Well, here he is to discuss the topic. Lord Fizzlebeef, how did you enjoy that Topher?
No.
I mean, GG's either way on your climb through the winter tournament. Obviously, you had a substantial lead going into Topher. I know I had talked about it, and I said, well, all he has to do is take one level, and he gets 2 life charges on his night. I knew you weren't going to, but, the sense of me goes, but you already bought black magic. You just had to walk just a little bit more just to get the white magic. Yeah, just a little white magic on that night. But then your knight decided to blow up a couple times anyway, so it made my point mute. So
I figured, grinding to get those charges, because I think I had just dinged 36 on, nothing. So that would have been a couple solid, packs somewhere in there. And it would have been stopping. And I hit Topher at a very, very aggressive pace, and I'm in there, I'm thinking, all right, I've only got 1 ribbon, so all I have to do is dodge insta-kills and we're good to go.
Then you met Kraken a few
Yeah.
times.
And then every single time after that first dive, Kraken gets perfect order, gets Bane out before Red Mage gets wall off, the Bane tags the Red Mage, and then he's like, okay, cool, I'm done with spells, I'm just gonna melee forever now. If he had flipped to nuclear and the rest of his garbage spell list that night would have made it through.
Yeah,
But
well, and then on top of it, the next enemy afterwards, Tiamat, also had Bane early.
So yeah, that's what trashed my first dive. And when I saw 2 of them having insta kills, that's when I was just like, okay, so on every dive after this, after carry, I just have to flip the ribbon to the knight, and I just have to have the Red Mage cast wall on itself. Boom, easy. Unless Topher just says no. Unless Kraken 2 just says no, 3 dives in a row.
Well, for Ravioli, you can contest that those metal slimes got you out at least once as well. You didn't even make it to the fiends on that first dive.
Those metal slimes were just terrible. They were just terrible. GG Fizzle, wow. That was
GG.
exciting.
That, I felt so good up until Topher.
Oh, I caught the end on Twitch, and what you said in race time. I said, I didn't think I was gonna even come close. I kept looking. I said, oh my! When I got through the Kraken 2, I was like, all right, come on, baby, we can do this. And I knew it was gonna be really close, and it was.
Yeah.
Really close in the end there.
Like I said in the race room, the dive when Kraken 2 is just oh, you'd like to go through now? It's he looked over the screen and was just oh yeah, your opponent's basically about to make a chaos run. All right, you can go through now. Let's go.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, let's face it. I'm not gonna, take this by straight execution or game strategy. So I gotta come in. I come in with a strategy, slow and steady, 4-party, and fighter rainbow. Was so very, very lucky with the life 2 magics and nuke and fade.
Mm-hmm.
I said slow and steady. Slow and steady's gonna win this. I'm not gonna win a head-to-head battle here, and I just got lucky.
What weapon did you end up having at the end?
I kept defense sword 2. I gotta hit the books on these -2s, and Excal was better than a Vorpal. I don't know. I got a book up on that for sure.
Yeah, he picked up a -2 Excalibur and picked up the -1 Vorpal, and he stuck it out with the defense +2. So
I would have made that same choice. I did pick up the Vorpal -1. I was kind of digging to see if I could get an easy second ribbon, but the ribbon I guess was key to slab to ribbon, which I ain't got time for that.
yeah, that would have been in Lefane.
Well, the Excalibur was in the drop down in ice.
Whoops.
Fizzle faded the entire 6-pack.
Well, yeah, the Power Bonk was in the 6-pack. I'm sure you're reading L's notes or whatever like that. And the Kraken was on the drop down, and I'm like, I totally understand. Fizzle wants to just run, but I was like, that's just typical because Because once again, you grinded with a dagger.
That was okay. Look, it was not my choice.
I know.
It was
just funny.
I had the defense sword on me. I just couldn't equip it.
It's just I started laughing,
And
I let Fabian cast for a while because I'm just dying laughing, thinking once again.
I went to the sword store. They were all crap except for a large dagger +5. And I didn't find anything else. I opened boxes looking for a weapon, instead found the ribbon, and it's just like, well, this will make this the safest grind in the world, if not the slowest. All right, let's go.
I think you had that last time too, didn't you? You had a ribbon and a dagger. It was like perfect symmetry.
Ribbon and a dagger and a. Last time I had Zeus Gauntlet. This time I had a black shirt, so ever so slightly more damage until the dagger came online.
Hey, it worked really good against the dragon because he had hurt dragon. 6 hits for like 300 because of the elemental bonus. Yes. So I mean, definitely LordFizzlebeef, you actually had a huge, or you definitely showed the power of the grind. You were able to run, use the +10 luck, had a big lead going in. Obviously, dove a lot. A lot of people said you were not going to check any chests. You definitely didn't check any chests once you got your grind on.
Once I had a ribbon, I had a confirmed ribbon that I knew I wasn't going to have to dig out later. I had a weapon. All I needed was to dig out tail. I don't need anything after that. Let's go.
I mean, that's definitely what you did, and a little better battle RNG, and I mean, all you had to help was no Bane first turn, and you were good to go with that wall. So it was good on you for picking up on the wall, because I think some people would probably forget to pick up wall. But yeah, so ravioli. I mean, I felt like you were never comfortable during that. You kept checking a lot of chests, even when you were feeling really good with the power bonk. You had the defense sword, you had Excalibur, you had decent armor, and I still saw you checking chests.
Yeah, so I was really hoping for a fighter equipped sword, you know, sun +5, something ice +5. So I wouldn't have to do the. I don't know why tail seemed like it was quite a fetch quest, but I wanted to skip tail basically. So I did keep checking a few chests.
You wanted to bypass tail with life learnable in tier 2 and 3 magic? Fizzle, have you been teaching him? Because I feel like this is right up your alley.
I mean, I will say that after our first race, I did go back and watch a side-by-side VOD of both of us, and I started to get a little bit of panic mode. I remember watching him just like, oh, he's running my party. Oh, he knows how to use my party.
I was wondering. I'm like, well, what's he looking for? Like, it's a pretty easy check here to get the tail, and he's like kept looking for chests.
Well, dang! If that tail were behind slab, I was gonna dive with a silver +1 knife.
Oh
dagger.
man!
because I knew I know who I'm up against, you know, and I've got to take these, you know, wild plays sometimes. I think, but
hey, you do what you got to do there. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Like I said, I questioned it as a spectator, you know, trying to give, or as a commentator, just trying to give little things to the viewers to think about. And well, I like the babble, so you know, it's always +2. So much so that Fabian probably wants to ask questions, and I've completely hijacked.
Honestly, the only thing I have to say is, what is with the weapons? Because really, the search for swords on both of your sides, it was just shocking to me. We couldn't find a coral, a wear, anything.
I mean, technically, I stopped looking after defense, so...
Yeah, you did the same thing last race. It did get the win, did it not? Or was that, am I forgetting?
No, I got the win. I lost game 1.
oh yeah, he thrashed me yesterday.
I mean, Fabian, unless you have any other questions, we'll move on to final thoughts here. Make it short and sweet, because I mean,
I'll be honest, you covered most all of it. So,
all right. Well, with that, LordFizzlebeef, you want to give your final thoughts?
I blame this entirely on not upholding my tradition of watching race VODs back immediately after I do a race. I didn't do that last night. That Kraken 2 is punishing me for my sins.
just needed a coral sword, and it would have been easy. If only you checked more boxes, I'm telling you.
Well, you
Oh,
nuked
no.
Kraken too many times, so Kraken 2 had nuke to throw back at you.
That's what I wanted to ask, Fizzle.
Yeah.
You didn't. Both of you didn't check the Topher chests.
No.
Now no. After your first dive,
yeah,
you didn't check. There's two better trap treasures there. You didn't know where Power Bonk was, which I know is not the thing that was really making or breaking you, right?
Yeah.
But you could have technically put the ribbon on the knight, guaranteed that you could have soloed through, technically, right? I was just curious why you didn't check. Really?
When does
4 times the charm, huh? Yeah.
When does wall never cast? Right?
I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but like, I totally understand. It was just funny. I had to ask that question. And with that, Ravioli, moving on to the round of 16. GG's to you. Your final thoughts.
Oh, thanks. My goal was to take one of the games. I took game 1. I wanted to put up something of a fight. This is beyond what I expected. GG Fizzle, thanks everybody. This is so fun.
I guess since Fabian brought us in, I will let him take us out too. I'm Dang Wu. Thanks for watching, everybody that was in chat. Will Bloodworth, Cat, Adjugant, all those. Len the Cat, is nice to see you again. I know I didn't point you out in chat during the during the broadcast, but appreciate you coming through. I see Felconic has joined in, was probably watching too. Ale, thank you for tracking us. Fabian, it was a pleasure doing comms with you. Why don't you take us out?
Well, thank you all for viewing this glorious race 3 between LordFizzlebeef and Ravioli, with Ravioli moving on to the round of 16. I am Fabian Hawk. That was Dang Wu. Elu has been our tracker. Look forward to more races today. We have several set up. Let me go ahead and pull up the schedule if you wouldn't mind giving me a second. I can see what's coming. Should have done this before. We've got multiple races. We got 2 on FFR with, 1 on FFR, ADR and Krellin, Game 2 at 6 p.m. Eastern. Game 3 is scheduled for 8 if they need it. And LordFizzlebeef will be broadcasting Danny versus Shadow Mr. T at 7 Eastern. If you want to check that race out, that is a Game 2. Otherwise, if you're interested in joining in with this craziness that is Final Fantasy Randomizer, we have the Duckling program and the Duckling Derby coming up after this event is finished, where new members of the community can join up, get training from the racers that you are seeing race now, so that they can join in with the fun and then compete in the Duckling Derby, a broadcast race for those new racers to compete in. I will be joining in on that myself. Otherwise, I believe that is everything to cover. Anything else, or are we out of here? Yeah, let's say signing off for now. Have a good day, all.